As far as Will Smith is concerned, until he does right by all of those children that were harmed and corrupted while in his care, children that grew up to be men, boys like Bryshere Gray, August Alsina, your own son. Like, your own son.
Rumors about Will Smith being involved with young men has been going around for years now. Fanned by the flames of the infamous Jaguar Wright cause celebrities hate to see her coming, Jaguar has claimed that Will Smith has been involved with Bryshere Gray in not-so-professional ways, mind you. But to think that he was involved in the ruse that had Bryshere hospitalized? Let's get into this mess. If you were alive and aware between 2015 and 2020, then you know that the American TV series Empire was all the buzz. It had people gagging, singing, and dancing all at the same time, and the prized star of the show was none other than Hakeem Lyon, played by Bryshere Gray. That show won him awards, put him in front of the right audience, gave him worldwide recognition, and moved him to ride with upper echelons of the industry. But even more so, it lined his pockets with riches unimaginable and gave him a chance to change the life of his family forever. But unfortunately, that did not happen. Fast forward to a couple years later, and Bryshere had lost it all: the money, the fame, the opportunities, and even more importantly, something Terrence Howard described as the man card.
You know, well, when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time.
And now enter Jaguar Wright, not only referencing Bryshere's situation, but blaming Terrence Howard for leaving Bryshere at the Lion's Den. According to Jaguar, since Terrence played the role of Bryshere's father in their show Empire, there was no one better who could step in as a Hollywood father figure and guide Bryshere through his choices other than Terrence. Choices that left Bryshere at the mercy of Diddy and Charlie Mack.
And that was the only issue that I had about what Terrence Howard had to say. Because of all that he talked, he said nothing about Bryshere. He played his television father. Right. He was on set. He saw what Charlie Mack and them were doing. He knew they were taking those young boys to Diddy. They all knew. I guess his man card only counts, or is only large enough to cover his asshole.
Okay.
Because if you truly believed in all that you say, there is no way you could stand by and watch all of those people that you worked with do what they did to those kids. And you said nothing.
But you see, while several people agree that Terrence could have provided more moral and ethical support to Bryshere, at the end of the day, the majority cannot help but agree that Bryshere was a grown man when he got into Hollywood. He was 21 and old enough to make decisions for himself and stand by it. For instance, this commenter says, Bryshere was 21 years old when Empire started. Terrence Howard isn't responsible for another man's action. If you're old enough to drink responsibly, then you're old enough to think responsibly. And who is to say that Terrence didn't extend that hand of reasoning to Bryshere, but was ultimately refused? Because honey, when that money and fame gets into your head, sometimes words don't mean so much. And caution is just another terminology in the dictionaries. This user put it simply saying, as for Terrence Howard, what if he did try to talk Bryshere out of going to meet with these people and Bryshere just didn't listen? If y'all been in the loop lately, then you know exactly what has been going down with Bryshere as of late. But just in case you do not know about it yet, he has completely quit the acting music scene and ventured into screens a little bit more obscene. And we do not mean the Hollywood kind, and that is just the least of it. Before he disappeared for good, he was involved in a lot of legal controversies, one of which involved a 911 call placed by his wife in 2020, claiming that Bryshere had attacked her for hours and left her unconscious before exiting the house.
It's like, this is my t-shirt, but that's not my crime, you know?
The alleged crime, brutal. Gray's wife calling 911 after escaping him at a Goodyear QT, claiming Gray punched her hundreds of times, strangled her, and threatened her with a knife. But Gray claims to police it wasn't him, but some guy named Mark.
I guess they got into an argument or whatever. I was at my friend's house playing football.
But Gray's wife says she knows exactly why Gray claimed Mark carried out the crime.
He just says his name is Mark. That's like his old fake name.
The whole shenanigan landed him in jail for about 10 days before he was released. But that wasn't the last of it. Later on in May of that same year, Bryshere's landlord would call the police on him and sue him for almost $30,000 in damages for a rented condo in Chicago. According to reports, Bryshere had rented the apartment and several debaucherous acts were committed on the scene. He also left the place dirty, with his dogs unfed, and left to do their business wherever they pleased. At this point, it was alleged that Bryshere was separated from his wife. Because, honey, he was now indulged in acts unbecoming of a married man. This was when the rumors really started to spread that just the same way that Terrence Howard was extended a hand by Diddy, so was Bryshere Gray. And unlike Terrence, he took it.
No.
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, he wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to you.
But according to word on the streets, it wasn't just Diddy that had a hand in ruining Bryshere's career. Will Smith was allegedly involved too. Brother Bilal has been at the forefront of exposing Will Smith and his shenanigans, claiming that he has caught Will in more than one compromising position with another man. Mind you, Bilal used to be Will's best friend. So it's very believable when someone with that level of access to the man comes out to spill the tea.
Will, when he puts his mind to something, every character, he goes in solid. You watching gay porn, you're going to live sex shows.
That means he had to get aroused by watching
that. That's what and we end up finding that became, I believe that became his addiction to men. That was the addiction to men, because he was in a safe environment, right? And they made that environment safe for him, so whoever he was, he could now become. And that created a monster.
At first, Will Smith and his team threatened Bilal with all sort of legal actions, but as strange as it was, Bilal did not flinch. Instead of walking things back or disappearing like most people would, he doubled down on the claims and even publicly dared Will Smith to sue him, saying that if the paperwork's ever hit his doorstep, he'd walk into court with receipts, evidence, and witnesses.
Jada, you said you were going to sue me. You said I extorted you. You said there's a money shakedown. You said a lot of things about me to get other networks or other podcasters or bloggers scared for me to come on because they think they're going to be sued. Well, Tasha wasn't sued and I wasn't sued. So you got 2 weeks to issue an apology, because me and Will's situation were about business. And I want you to sue. If not, Jada, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you because you know that you're a liar, and you know that the things that you said were untrue.
Fast forward to January 2026, and Brother Bilal just resurfaced on Tasha K's platform again, repeating everything he said before and more.
You called her a dope fiend.
Yeah, I called her a bald-headed dope fiend, without question. I told her she better sue me because
she said to TMZ when they asked her when she left the Breakfast Club,
yes,
she looked, they was like, well, what do you got to say? And she was like, we're suing! And I was just like, okay.
Right.
That's been about 2 years.
Yeah, and
we haven't gotten a lawsuit yet.
No, I talked for 2 hours.
Okay.
And I said some pretty, what some people may think to be outrageous things, but I knew them to be true and had the evidence to be, to show that it was true. So from that, that's when Jada responded out of anger, not out of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because for her to be a global, iconic superstar, you rushed to the Breakfast Club to say, number one, that I extorted you. There was a money shakedown. You said you didn't have all the facts. So that puts you in legal jeopardy right now. You said all the facts will come out. None of the facts came out, right? So now you, Will, and yourself are in legal jeopardy.
Fans of the show Empire remember Bryshere as the young star that had everything going in the right direction for him. He had that money, fame, and more importantly, momentum. But all of a sudden, everything started falling apart. His finances, family, and mental health. According to Bilal, that downfall didn't come out of nowhere. He claims that Bryshere was pulled into the elite circle way too early. Just like a few other unmentionables, he was exposed to environments he wasn't prepared for, environments that left him damaged beyond repair. Bilal alleges that Bryshere told him he was taken advantage of and bent over by powerful men in the industry, including figures tied to Will Smith and Diddy.
I robbed in Chicago for Empire. It's a damn mess. It's no other way to put it. This dude is going crazy, right? He's out there allegedly with male prostitutes. He's pissing in the trailer. He's acting psychotic, right?
The same thing he's doing now.
Beyond that. But this is why a show is going on, right? So I'm like, I pull him to the side, right? And I said, listen, I'm here to help you and so forth and so on. So he was like, all right, I feel that. He said, everybody on the set know you. Everybody seem like they love you. Okay. I want to love you because everybody else love you. I said, if that's what you want to do, then do it. But he kept acting up. And then one day I said, what the F is wrong with you? And he was like, you know. He said, you know Will me. You know Diddy made me suck his penis. You know what's going on. You know Charlie made me suck. And I said, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So he crying, no blood is coming from his nose. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I'm like, yo, listen.
And now it would seem that Jaguar Wright is spilling that same tea, laying claims that Bryshere's sudden brush with the mental hospital wasn't all that we thought that it was. According to Jaguar, it was an orchestrated move meant to show Bryshere what non-conformity to the system will lead to. A power move meant to tie him down to the consequences of the choices he made so long ago. A reminder, not so gentle, that there is no going back from this path. Word on the street is that Will Smith learned from the best, Diddy. Before Diddy's exposure and ultimately his arrest in September 2024, he had been dodging lawsuits, cases, claims of his hideous conduct behind the scenes, covering them up with money, lies, fame, and the idea of a generous, jovial man and a kind father. But just like Diddy, Will Smith's time might be rounding up, the clock keeps ticking, and soon it could be his turn.
Don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them, all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Now, in the meantime, we would like to know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe the confessions of brother Bilal, Jaguar Wright, and all the evidence that has been screaming in our faces all these years? What do you think could be the outcome of such revelations when they finally hit the public scene, much like Diddy's? Let us know your thoughts and opinions. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and watch this next video because it is just as messy.